One sec.
Do you want to just share the whole story, start from the beginning, or just?
Yeah, I mean, what you're even saying was fine.
Sure.
It's good. Like, I don't know what you're about to tell me, but.
Oh, it's interesting.
But what if you get lower?
You don't need to validate your own existence through somebody else, and that's what sucks so bad. And the thing is, like I was saying, when you go through a breakup, how you feel about it, it's terrible. Because the way you look, the way you feel, you know, it's like when you're around your friends, you could feel okay, but then at night when you're by yourself, when you're like laying there looking at the ceiling in your bed, and you're sick to your stomach and you want to throw up, and you think about the person that you thought you knew, the person that you thought you loved, and they're with someone else, and the thought of that just makes you sick to your stomach, and then you don't, you know, you feel like you lost everything because you lost your best friend ultimately. Because if you're in a relationship for longer than 6 months, I mean, you call that person every day, you talk to that person every day. If you move in with that person, which I was in, you know, the relationship for 2.5 years, I lived with my girlfriend. I slept, you know, a few inches away from her every night. I knew everything about her, so I thought. And then, you know, one night you come home and there's another guy sleeping in your bed, the candles lit, you know, his jacket, shoes on the floor, and it's. What do you do? What do you do? You know, it's a shock. Like I said before, it's like a bottle turned upside down and everything comes out. Everything comes out. You know, people talk about love. You know, what is love? And not the Webster Dictionary version of love. Not an extreme longing for. I think that's what it says in the Webster Dictionary. But I'm talking like actual love. What is it? It's phantom. It doesn't exist. You know, it's a word. People like to say it. It sounds pretty. That's about it. Every girl wants to be in love. Every girl thinks they could. You know, they could love anything. They could love a flower. You know, they could love anything, but it's, you know, ultimately they write with pencils because they could erase you. That's it. They could erase you, and then you feel like nothing. You feel hollow. So I mean, what defines you as a person? You know, people say all the time, what defines you? You know, sex, drugs, rock and roll, that could define you. You know, being a good person, helping others, that defines you. But I think more along the lines of the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. Why do I think like that? Because Wile E. Coyote chases the Roadrunner all the time. He chases him all the time, but he can never catch him. But it's his pursuit. It's his pursuit that defines him as who he is. And that's how it is. That's what defines him, his pursuit. And that's how everybody is. Pursuing it. Pursuing it is great. The chase is just as fun, you know, as the catch, but there's also the release. And that's what also brings people to their knees, you know, is the release. Because giving up somebody, if you really care about somebody, I guess you would just tell them you don't want to be with them anymore instead of cheating on them and you coming home and finding someone else with the person that you love, you know? And do I still love her? Absolutely, you know? Because I'm not in love with her, but I love her. I loved her for who she was when I was with her. But when you get out of a relationship, you have to look at it like a death, like a funeral, because otherwise you'll kill yourself inside, because the person you knew is gone. You have to tell yourself the person you knew is dead. They don't exist anymore, and the person that has replaced them is just a shell that looks like them. Because they're an entirely different person. Because everything changes. Everything changes. Everything changes after a kiss. Everything changes after a breakup. And sex complicates everything. Everything. So, that's it.
Can you describe the moment when you came home again and like what you actually did?
Think about the moment first, that when you first kiss somebody and you know that you want to be with them, you know? It's like you feel like the world stops for a second. But then, now imagine when the world stops in a bad way and you see everything falling apart. You see everything you built and worked for, and imagine coming home after you're having about 8 drinks with your friends, and then, you know, coming home and you just don't understand it because your brain is like racked and you pretty much want to like flee or fight, and I definitely wanted to fight, and he wouldn't even come out of the bedroom. He wouldn't even come out of the bedroom. The door was locked. I started pounding on it. Walking through the kitchen, like breaking stuff and throwing stuff and whatever, and then she came out and was like, "Oh my God, blah blah blah! I'm calling the police. What's going on with you? You're crazy." She doesn't understand why I was mad. She did not get it. The funny thing was, she felt like she was the victim the whole time. You know, did I do anything wrong? None that I've seen. You know, I thought we had a pretty good, healthy relationship. Everything was going fine. I treated her well. You know, some people you can't treat too good because they confuse kindness with weakness and they take advantage of you, and then it turns out this way. It turns out terrible. It turns out bad. So, you know, it's been almost a little over 7 months. So I'm good. I'm out of it. I feel like away from it. But then this morning she called me again just to like say nasty stuff, you know. Just it's wild because we still talk to the same people, we still have some of the same friends, and she'll talk to them and they'll be like, well, Dustin said this, well, blah 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 blah. Or if I'm doing well, for some reason she'll come out of the woodwork. I don't know why. It's like someone's haunting you, because in your dreams sometimes you'll think about that person in your subconscious and you'll dream about it.
Well, can you describe her physically?
Beautiful, Cuban, we'll say Latina girl, beautiful, dark hair, dark features. Tan body, beautiful bottom, thin, just all around gorgeous. She was gorgeous. You know, she's very easy on the eyes, and she's short. She's like 5'5", maybe, or 5'6". So it's like she's someone short, cute, adorable, has a gorgeous smile, amazing smile, and she always smells just absolutely beautiful, like a bed of roses. And it's ridiculous because it's such a facade. It's such a facade of what lies inside, and it's terrible. I can only imagine. You know, I think it's just absolutely hollow behind her eyes, and I don't think she can feel anything. You know, she loves this, loves that, and loves to write. That's another thing. She always wrote, and I found her diary the day I was moving out, and I read through it, and there were stories about her seeing guys back as far. This happened in December. And in June, she was seeing other guys and talking to them, and there were names in there, different stories, and there were different things about me that oh, I love him so much, blah, 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 and then I could see the turn of it. I don't know what I did so wrong, but it was just starting to get to be you know, Dustin, I don't like Dustin anymore, I don't know why Dustin does this to me, thank God for him, but you know, for helping me in my life, but you know, sometimes I disagree with him, he's so hard-headed, whatever. I mean, there's different things that, you know, I think could be said, but are better left unsaid with her. But it's amazing that she kept a diary of all her events with other people, and she probably knew I was going to find it sooner or later. So, yeah, I did. That's it. But she is a beautiful girl with a dark heart.
All right, cut. I didn't want to stop. You were an asshole? Or
I was a vengeful fuck, is what I said, because who in their right mind wouldn't be angry and want to get them back? One of my friends told me, dude, before you leave, take everything, first off. Take everything, maybe, you know, open a few light switch boxes, cut a few wires in there, you know, cut a wire underneath the refrigerator so it doesn't work. I was actually going to cut the cord off of the back of the refrigerator and take it with me and leave her a 350-pound paperweight because I was so pissed. But I actually bought her domain name, hername.com as well, and put you know, just a few pictures of her on there or whatever, but just because now she can't have it, and if she wants it, she could buy it from me, but that's about it. You know, I mean, I did a couple other things before I left. I may have taken a few light bulbs and unhooked a few wires here and there and took everything that was mine. I started selling off furniture and stuff like that, you know, not telling her I was going to do it, but I did it quick. You know, within 2 days, I got rid of most of my stuff. And yeah, took everything for what it's worth and everything that I needed. And also took the wireless router and had the electric, gas, and cable shut off. So, yes. Crazy, but I mean, and it doesn't make you feel better. I wish I could tell you it does. And a little bit, it does actually make you feel a little bit better though about yourself because you know you got them just that little bit. But it's you know, it doesn't make you feel better to be vindictive and crazy like that because you look like a madman. But you know what? Who wouldn't be a madman? I don't know any man in their right mind that wouldn't want to kick the ass of the guy she was sleeping with. And the funny thing is, one day I'm gonna run into him. One day I'm gonna run across him on the train, and I'll probably punch him where his ear meets his jaw or something like that because that's how I feel inside. You know, will it make me feel better? Hell if I know, but I figure it's worth a shot. You know, why not? But we have to be like a piece of clay, and everybody's gonna leave an impression on you, and you're gonna learn so much from it. When you die, you take nothing with you. You take nothing with you, but then you're on the level, you're on the plane, and that's it. You know, but you die with knowledge that you maybe take on to the next life or whatever. But you die with nothing, but it's the relationships that you had with people, you know, and the memories, I guess. So you just learn. That's it.
Cool. Can you show me that website?
Which one?
The domain name you got?
You want to see it?
I just want to see the girl so I don't ever